Hello lovely people and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming the Booktube Newbie Tag. I didn't know this was a thing until a few days ago, because if I did I would have filmed this as like my first video. But better late than never. I have a glass in my Hogwarts glass. I have this like green blue juice thing that's meant to be really good for you because I'm trying to be healthy at the moment. So I'm gonna sip away from that and chat through the 10 questions for the Booktube Newbie Tag. So let's just get straight into it. The first question is, why did you start this channel? I started my Booktube channel purely because I had a blog first, and I kind of like, as bad as it sounds considering how much I read, I kind of got bored of writing. I was also finding it difficult because where I'm a uni student as well, like I'm constantly typing, I'm constantly writing, constantly on my computer. So I kind of found it just like, it became so routine to write that it bored me. So when I wanted to write for the blog, it just sort of like, it felt more like a chore than it did like fun or just something on the side. Whereas filming for this channel, this was more like fun, more like a little bit of a hobby. And it's just like, the Booktube community I feel is so much bigger than the book blog community. I mean, the book community in general is just huge, which is a great thing. But yeah, I just felt like this was just a better opportunity for me, and I watch more Booktube than I read book blogs. So I just thought this would be the better opportunity for me, and it's more fun and I can sort of do what I want with it. I don't have to worry about how much I'm writing or things like that. Like, I can just film content and I can cut it down as much as I want, I can add as much as I want. So I just kind of thought this would be the best option for me. The second question is, what are some fun and unique things you think you can bring to Booktube? I mean, I don't really know if I'm unique in a way. I'm kind of a person that follows on from others. I mean, if my channel does get big enough, I do want to create my own readathons and things like that. I'm also that type of person that can't like read like 10 books in a month. I might read 2 or 3. I don't have a lot of time to read, where I'm a uni student and I also work for Sainsbury's. I don't have a lot of time to read, especially with what's going on with COVID-19 at the moment. I am working like 6-7 days back to back, so I don't have a lot of time to read. And I feel like, I'm not like dissing other booktubers, but I feel like this is like, Booktube isn't my job. I don't make money from Booktube, it's not my career, and that's brilliant for those who do. I admire those people a lot. I wish I could do something like that, but because I don't, I just feel like I'm a very like normal in a way person, and it's more, I feel like it's just an insight of someone who does work a full-time job, is a student. I feel like my channel is a lot more about those kinds of things, more than just books in general. And I also I like having fun with it. I mean, I don't want to be too serious of a channel, I don't want to take things too seriously, I don't want to be so much in a routine with, you know, every weekly wrap up, monthly wrap ups, monthly TBRs. Like, I'm not that type of person that works like that, so I just want to have more fun with it than anything. Next question is, what are you most excited for about this new channel? And I'm just excited to get out there. I've been saying I wanted to do this for years. I mean, I'm 20 now and I've been saying I wanted to do this probably since I was about 16. So I'm just really excited to just like get out there and actually start doing something that I've been wanting to do for ages, and joining a community that I love so much. I mean, I've been watching Hilly and Bookland, for example, for years now, and like, she's just one of my favorite booktubers, as well as Books and Lala, and it's just like, it's crazy how like I could be on the same platform as them, and I just want to like, basically just want to do that. I just want to put my opinions, my stuff out there, and just hope that people enjoy it. The next question is, why do you love reading? And when I was younger, I was bullied in primary school, I was bullied some secondary school as well in the beginning, and reading for me has always just been an escape. My mum always encouraged us to read when we were younger, like was always giving us books, was always saying to us like, come on, like, right, instead of playing this video game or instead of doing this, let's read or let's play outside. And I'm that type of person that's just like, if I feel like I need to relax, or if I feel like life's getting a bit too much, if I open a book and I just read a couple pages, I get completely immersed in that universe. and I don't know, it's just one of those things that I can see it, I use it as an escape almost, and it just comforts me. Like the same for most people as well. Like every night I usually read before I go to bed. It's just like a home, it's a comfort thing. Question 6 is, what questions would you ask your favourite booktubers? And I think the main question I'd ask them is, how do you read so many books? Honestly, if anyone can tell me how I can read quicker, I will be so grateful, because it actually, like, I used to be really quick at reading, and for some reason it's taken me a lot longer to read now. Like I used to be able to read like 50 pages to like almost 100 pages in an hour, and I'm now struggling to hit 50. So if anyone has tips and tricks for that, that would be great. I think that's mostly what I'd ask them. That, and just like what are tips to grow my channel, and also just like, I mean, we all know what their favourite books are, like they usually talk about them quite a lot. Like for example, Hayley in Bookland, we know her favourite books is Alice in Wonderland. She has a whole shelf dedicated, and you know what, you go girl. I'm actually jealous that you can have a whole bookshelf dedicated to your favourite book. I mean, if I could have that, I would love that. But yeah, I say that, and just like, can we be friends? Like Hayley in Bookland, can we be friends please? Yeah, I think that's like mostly what I'd ask them. Like how they made so many friends on Booktube and things like that. Like I know things take time and stuff, but I need people to read with. My friends in real life, like they don't really read. I have like 1 or 2 friends that like books, but because we're all uni students and stuff, like everyone prioritizes uni, which is perfectly great, and they should, but I just need more friends in the book community. The 7th question is, what challenge do you think will be hardest to overcome when starting a booktube channel? For me, it probably will be finding content. I mean, especially in weekly reading vlogs, like I said, like I have a full-time job, I am a uni student, I don't have all the time in the world to read. I really wish I did, so getting reading content in is quite hard. I mean, I use audiobooks quite often, but actually being able to sit down and read is quite hard, because like I come home from work and I'm so tired if I'm doing an evening shift, or if I come home from work after a day shift. I always have like a million and one things to do, or I'll prioritize uni work and then I'm too tired in the evening to read. So I feel like that's going to be quite a challenge, trying to find content, as well as I'm not great with computers, so my editing is not the greatest. As you've probably already seen, my editing is awful. So that's going to be quite a difficult challenge. So I'm going to like try and train myself up on that more. That, and remembering to take thumbnail pictures. I never remember to take thumbnail pictures. I don't know why, but it's a thing that I'm going to try and change, but it's a thing. So that I find quite difficult. And yeah, just the confidence of getting it out there. Like I haven't really explicitly told my friends and family that I'm doing booktube. I mean, they all know I have a blog, but obviously I don't blog on that much, and I only really promote my videos on my Twitter account for books and psychology. I have my own private one, and then I have my books and psychology Twitter account. I usually use that to like post anything. I don't really put anything on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram like I used to with the blog, because I don't know, I just have this weird thing that people will judge me or something, and I really hope they don't, but I just have a thing about it. But yeah, that I'd say are the main things that are like quite challenging with booktube, but I'm gonna persevere with it. I'm gonna keep going, because it's also a perfect excuse for me to read more books, and get my reading count up and just get me reading again. So I'm using it in a positive way. I'm looking at it more positively than negatively. I'm looking at it as new challenges to overcome, not challenges to be scared of. Question 8 is, when did you start reading? I started reading at such a young age, I don't even remember the first time I picked up a book. My mum, like I said earlier, my mum was so for us reading as kids. Like she was always putting books in our hands. We went to the library once a week in primary school. We lived next to a library, so we went to the library once a week. I think it was on a Friday that we used to go to the library, and we got books to read for the week. It was just always encouraged at home, and then again, like I just took it all the way through like my whole life. Like I have my own collection. This up here is like the tiniest part of my books, like the tiniest part. I have books in other houses, that's how much That's how many books I have. But yeah, I started reading from a very, very young age. I mean, I picked up Harry Potter around, no, I picked up Super Fudge around 7. So yeah, it was quite an early age, I'd say. I was definitely very, very young in primary school. 9 is where do you read? I mostly read in my bed because I mostly read before I go to sleep. It's very rare that I get time during the day to read. I mean, if I'm not at work, I'm having to do uni work. If I'm not doing uni work, it's the time when I get time to clean or change my bed or do my washing. So I mostly read in my bed. I mean, when I do chores, sometimes, most of the time I'll have music on, but sometimes if I'm feeling it, I will put an audiobook on. But I just like being able to concentrate on an audiobook, so I don't always put it on. If I know I'm not going to be like at least like 80% listening to it, I won't put it on. But yeah, I mostly read in my bed or on the sofa in my, I mean, I have a sofa in this bedroom, but my sofa in my bedroom in Brighton, it is so comfy. So I mean, I mostly read on there as well, because if I'm in Brighton, my boyfriend lives with me in Brighton, and he is usually like playing FIFA or something, so he's on the bed, so I usually get the sofa out of default anyway, but I prefer it. So yeah, I'd usually read in my bed and on the sofa. The final question is, what kind of books do you like to read? I say I read a lot more YA than I read anything, and I mean like anything within YA, YA sci-fi, YA fantasy, YA romance, YA social issues. Like I really will literally read anything that's YA. I am trying to branch out a bit. I've got like a pile of classics now, and as you guys have seen, I have also quite a big crime and thriller set of books. So I want to start trying to make my way through them and start trying to move on to some adult fiction as well, because I am 20 now. I do need to broaden my horizons in terms of book genre, but I'm also not ashamed to say that I love YA or like teen fiction or like early adult, young adult, like Throne of Glass series, which is behind me, for example, wouldn't be for like young teenagers but for older teenagers. Yeah, so I definitely say those are my favourite types of books to read, but 9 times out of 10 if someone recommends me a book, I will read it. I mean, I have a whole non-fiction shelf back in Brighton, so I will read pretty much anything, but those are my favourite books to read. Anyway, that is the end of the 10 questions. If there is anything else that you guys want to know, want to ask me, don't hesitate to comment or at me on Twitter. All my links will be in the description, as well as the 10 questions. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, share and comment. It's greatly appreciated. And if there are any specific kind of videos you guys want to see, or there are any book recommendations you want to give me, again, just comment or message me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, email, whatever. All my socials will be down below. And yeah, thanks for watching.